residing in Canada for, I think, most of his life. I think. Do your homework. You know what I'm saying? Yo, this is Professor Jang right here. We are breaking down a lecture. We are sitting in front of a lecture tonight, or today, or whatever day it is for you, right? Because, well, that's because I'm trying to, you know, I don't know if you're trying to understand this whole World War III thing going on in your backyard, in my backyard. You know what I'm saying? This is a real life thing that's going on, and I feel like we might just get a better understanding of what's going on with that, sitting in on this lecture, right? And so therefore, I know it's a whole bunch of information, bro, that goes into, you know, this war. It's not like this lecture will not, I don't think it will break shit down from the beginning of the war. So if you're interested in any of that, he does cover a lot of that, right? Predictive History is his channel. Predictive History, Professor Jang, right? Go tap in there if you want to know things from the beginning. I'm just here trying to understand a certain aspect of this World War thing, right? It's not necessarily about, you know what, let me not yap a lot right here. We're here to understand, you know, a little bit more about this, and it is a lecture, so there's like minimal to no yapping that's gonna go on from me at all, right? Y'all are welcome to go crazy in the comments, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, let's see, man. Iran and US war. Let's go in.
Seeing all your value once you dealt with all the dirt, backing up slowly from these diamonds and pearls, quote unquote. I mean, fat lady sings, I see the writing on the walls. I mean, back to the scene cause it was pride before the fall, and now it's just over.
Alright, y'all, still kicking in game theory. Number 9, the US-Iran war. Professor Jang, Predictive History be the channel. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what I'm saying? For those who are interested in these kind of things, break them down. But first things first, I was watching, yeah, I was paying attention to that intro. Something annoyed me, so I just gotta like fix it right quick. It has to do with the microphone, man. Watch a little tweak. I mean, literally, you can count 5 seconds and I'll be done. 4, 3, 2, done. Right, so I think we're gonna go ahead and coin this segment of the thing. Third-party players within the WW3 situation, right? More, fuck, what? The allies, right? The allies' role. The allies' roles. World War III, I don't know, because allies, you know, with the one side, allies for the other side. Let's see the roles of these allies. You know what I'm saying? The tag team partners of these World War III participants. Gotta unmute first.
Involved, because use nuclear weapons. Okay, that's another big question that we have. Okay, now another big question that we have is who gets involved. Because this situation is so dire that Europe, okay, specifically Germany, France, and Britain are talking about entering this war.
Okay, let's go.
And guess what?
What?
If that happens, it is possible that Russia and China will also enter this war on the side of the Iranians. This is World War III, okay? Because of the importance of the Strait of Hormuz, because of the importance of the Middle East. Everyone has to get involved.
It's like everyone has to get involved because now everyone is affected by the whole Strait of Hormuz stream, right? Because that's where a whole bunch of these countries depend on their oil, right? Interesting. So obviously, by default, you have to get involved because you're gonna have to protect your own ass, right? When it comes to like commodity that's very important in your country. I heard who depends on 75% of the oil. Japan or some shit. Like, yo, Japan gotta really be involved. I'm not gonna lie. Maybe it might deploy a whole bunch of its ground troops to go defend some shit, right?
Involved at some point. And we're gonna use game theory to really try to understand what's happening on the ground and where this could lead us.
Right.
Okay? All right. You guys understand? All right. Let's continue.
Let's go.
Okay, so again, there are American bases all over the Middle East. And originally, these bases were established to protect them from basically their own people, okay? These are...
Wait, my fault, y'all. Let me just zoom into something. I just want to see. I want to see who is involved there. Is that where the Strait of Hormuz is? Is it somewhere there? Wait, where is it? That's Israel there, right? That's Lebanon, Gaza. Okay, that's Gaza right there. Let me just study this map right quick. Wait a minute. Iraq. Oh, that's where Iraq is at. Zone. Area. This one a familiar. Oh, that's where Iran is. Oh no, wait. That's where Iran is at, right? Oh, Bahrain. I think this is where the Strait of Hormuz might be, right? These is the GCC. Oh, this is the GCC. Oh, there we go. That's the GCC area, right? And then Iran is this mountainous area right here. And this area right here is what the professor, pointed out as like flat desert, but still GCC, still dependent on the Americans, right, for some sort of military capacity. Okay, just familiarizing myself with this, and Africa's not even far away. Like, it's not too far away from this shit. Okay, we got the Israel. Alright, my fault. I just wanted to familiarize myself with this really quickly. Cool, let's go on.
And originally, these bases were established to protect them from basically their own people, okay? These are monarchies that were imposed on these nations by the Anglo-American Empire, the British first, and then the Americans came to support these monarchies.
Yeah.
And so they provide defense.
Okay.
But then you're like, wait a minute here. I mean, didn't we just say that these American bases can't actually defend these people, that they're exposed?
Yeah.
And the answer is yes, that's true. But remember, like, the American military was built during the Cold War.
Okay, what does that mean?
Okay? And the Cold War was a war between the Soviet Union and America. And so the Cold War was defined as something called MAD, mutually assured destruction, because both had nuclear weapons, okay? So they didn't really go to war against each other. And so in other words, these bases aren't really meant to defend these nations from other enemies. They're really meant to impose American authority in the Middle East. Okay?
Oh, so they were just like there to perpetuate the American agenda within the Middle East instead of protect from enemies. That is crazy. And just like plant American Western ideologies, enforce that on people, so that, for example, probably if you don't agree with the westernized way of because you gotta remember, it's the Sunnis that run here, right? The Sunnis, the more secular Muslims, right? More secular, those that agree or would rather align with the Western standards of how to be and live, and so okay.
And it's the idea of this. It's the idea that empire, it is really a image. Yeah. It is a hallucination. It's just an idea. Empire is it's an aura of invincibility and invisibility, okay? If you fear it, then you obey it. But it's not really designed to fight a war, okay?
Yeah.
And so that's why we have this absurd situation. And because there are so many bases in the GCC, that gives the Iranians the perfect pretext to attack them in order to destroy the GCC economy, which will destroy the American empire.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
All right, so this is how the war is shaping out, okay? So the red is the Israelis and the Americans. The yellow are the Iranians. Mm-hmm. And as you can see, the Iranians are attacking everywhere. Primarily Israel.
Yeah.
Okay? But also, as you can see, a lot of focus on Bahrain.
Oh, Why the hell am I disconnected already, bro? We're already back? Don't annoy me like this today, buddy. Let me see something. We back connected or what?
Iran. And so the Americans and the Israelis, you can see the Americans and Israelis are focused on Tehran.
Tehran, yes, that's where we.
And so the Americans and the Israelis use something we call shock and awe. And the very idea of shock and awe is you decapitate the enemy. You cut off the head, the body will fall down. Okay?
Yeah.
The problem, though, is again, the Iranians see this as a religious war. And so the Iranians have announced.
So they're willing to take it all the way. Like yo, take the head, still gonna fight till the death.
Total war.
Damn.
Okay? And so what this means is that right now command and control in Iran is decentralized. There's no one person telling everyone what to do. Every region has its own orders, has its own strategy. And so if you knock out Tehran, everyone else keeps on going. So if you take off the head, it doesn't change anything. Okay? But unfortunately, the Israelis and the Americans use this as a military doctrine. Military doctrine just means how you design your military for what purpose. Yep. And so even though the Americans seem like an invincible army, they are not equipped to fight a 21st century war against drones, against destabilization, against religious fanatics. Okay, they're just not. All right. But unfortunately, because of military doctrine, they're going to keep on attacking Tehran. Now, the great irony of all this is that the Iranians who will be most supportive of regime change, are actually in the cities because they are educated, they're progressive. Okay. The people who are most fundamentally against you, will fight you to the death, are religious fanatics, the Shia militants living in the rural areas. Okay? So this is a really silly thing where you are actually destroying those who will most likely support you, and you're leaving alone those who are most likely to commit jihad against you.
Yeah, I see it. I feel you.
Any questions so far, guys? Very clear. All right. So another idea that I want you guys to understand is the idea of asymmetry. Asymmetry.
Idea of asymmetry.
All right. So what is asymmetry? Asymmetry means that the two sides are choosing to fight different wars using different techniques because one is much stronger than the other, okay? America is a great empire. It has unlimited resources. It has the USD. It controls the world, right? Yep. Iran is a country that has been under economic sanctions for the past 45 years. It's poor. Its technology is very limited, okay?
Yeah.
But as we learn in this class, actually, those nations that are poor actually have more energy. They're more open and they're more cohesive. All right, so let me give you an example. This is what we call the Shahad drones. Shahad drones.
I would guess it's because, they have, less of these distractions of them being super liberal and super rich and super wealthy and super just like doing whatever they want. You know what I'm saying? They have to stick to the basics, and sometimes sticking to the basics is what can help you a lot. You feel what I'm saying? I feel like that, there has to be some sort of principle of basics, because it's like somebody that has a lot. If you like, the more that you have at your disposal, it's the more distracted that you can be. You know what I'm saying? You got all these wins, you got all this material, you got all this. You thinking, yeah, dog, I'm the big dog, I can relax, fuck it. You feel me? Like, damn, I don't need to be. Like, you always in just like chill mode, gratification mode. You feel me? While the underdog, it's basically the principle of the underdog. The underdog stays in the gym, even on the off season. They got a whole bunch to prove. That chip on their shoulder, you feel what I'm saying? Whole bunch to prove. So they might just keep it at the basics. Just keep working at the craft. Keep, you know what I'm saying? Fuck the advancement of how you can, you know, just like advance at something and just be different, innovative. And yes, that is important, but like keeping your attention at those fundamentals, you know what I'm saying, as principles, keeping your focus and stand on that, like continue to be strong on that, you know what I'm saying. I'm not gonna lie, that's why I feel like the principle, keeping principles of fasting, you know what I'm saying, alive, like being able to just tap into your own energy and help yourself keep going without, maybe, let's say you're fasting food, right? Like you're cutting out like food for certain hours in the day, certain days in the week, whatever, certain weeks in the month, whatever. You know what I'm saying, your fasting strategy, but it being a reminder to you that you don't need just the physical food, right? I feel like that's the understanding that I would receive from, you know, holy scripture or sacred scripture about the principles of fasting. You know what I'm saying? And so that snatches your mind back to the basic of like, right? There's more than food that keeps me going. It's more than food. It's more than even just my impulse of. It's more than the impulse. Let me not say it's more than food. It's more than the impulse of me wanting to get to the food or whatever desired food I want. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, you know, I keep my body latched onto the principle of like, yo, only at certain times of the day, and regardless of whether, you know, my chemistry, my energy reacts to that, I'm training it to override that so that that doesn't control my body entirely. You know what I'm saying? I can keep going even with the absence of food for a certain amount of time in the day, right? So that's like snatching yourself back to basics, back to principle, you know, back to like fundamental principle, so that you're not distracted by the fact that, yo, now you big dog, now I always gotta eat, bro, fuck it, I worked this hard for tonight, like I always gotta eat. My favorite thing too, you know what I'm saying, beyond anything, my favorite thing, it has to be my favorite thing too, it has to be my favorite, you know what I'm saying, substance too. So, you know, that kind of example paralleled with what professor's talking about here in terms of the idea or principles of asymmetry. You get the country who is the underdog, who has nothing, right? Has nothing. They're always going to like latch on to the principle of the basics, bro, the fundamentals. Let's remain strong there. You know what I'm saying? While the other side is just, they've been big dog, right? They've been enjoying some shit, being the leader, being the big dog, So there's certain things when it comes to fundamentals that they may have forgotten about. Or, you know what I'm saying? They may have like missed the picture of like, yo, let's strengthen these GCC countries that are associated with the US. Let's now strengthen them for war. You know what I'm saying? Instead of just like enforce Western principles here. You know what I'm saying? And that's what our military base is there to do, just enforce our values as the Westerners. But then now you're faced with war itself, and you're weak there? Like, what? I'm saying, let me hear more about this asymmetry shit. You know?
Each of these drones costs $50,000 at most, okay? Right. At most. It can go as cheap as $35,000 US. But one of them is $50,000. As you can see, you can fit a lot of these drones to a truck that can go anywhere in Iran, and they can hide anywhere. All right? Yeah. So the thing to understand is, first of all, these drones are cheap. They're easy to make. They make about 500 a day. Okay? And estimates are about there's 80,000.
Who manufactures that?
Right now that the Iranians have. So they can go on for a long, long time. Okay? And one of these drones, again, can knock out a desalination plant. It can knock out an oil field. It can knock out a hotel. It can do a lot of damage. Yep. Okay? Yep. And it's easily transportable. You can hide it anywhere. You can use it from anywhere. Okay? Uh-huh. And that's what the Iranians are using as an offensive weapon. And how do the Americans defend against this? They use something called a FAD, right? Right, guys? This is what they use. FAD. FAD stands for Thermal High Altitude Air Defense. And they also have like Patriot systems. There's a lot, okay? Yeah. The thing that you need to know about the system is it's really expensive. This missile, guys, costs $1 million.
Oh, it's just bougie, but it's like kind of weaker than necessary, right? It's just bougie.
$1 million. So there's this $50,000 drone coming your way, and you throw a $1 million missile at it, okay? And often these missiles miss, so you have to throw 2 or 3 missiles at it, okay?
Yeah.
So you're spending $2 to $3 million on each $50,000 that they're ready to spend.
Oh.
That's kind of silly. Second thing you'll notice is that
So wait. As per the example of the Americans go against the Iranians with the missiles that they manufacture, it's like America is spending $2 to $3 million for every 50,000 that Iran, spends to attack. They spend like close to 6 times, 6 to 24 to 48 times the amount that Iran has to spend for this war. It's crazy.
that this thing is really big and really slow.
Yeah.
And therefore, you can't really move it around. Therefore, it's pretty easy for the Iranians to spot where this is and attack it.
Yeah,
And then when these things blow up, that's a lot of money, guys. Okay? Then you're like, what? But this makes no sense.
Why not?
You know the Iranians have drones. They've had drones for like 10 years. You've also seen drones used in the Russia-Ukraine war to devastating effect. Why don't the Americans know this? Why did they prepare? Okay, and again, it has to do with military doctrine. Because military doctrine determines how you fight a war, it determines on your bureaucracy, and it determines how you spend your resources, okay? And unfortunately, the Americans are used to fighting something called the Cold War, right? And the Cold War, because you can actually fight the war, you can actually use kill each other because then people use nuclear weapons.
Yeah.
The Cold War was about flexing.
What is a flexathon? Yeah, it's a flexathon. And you know the Westerners got that, right? They the big bad wolves of flexing, man. Come on, man. They know they got it.
Flexing.
Flexathon.
Okay? You see how big and powerful I am? Me! Okay? That's all it was. These weapon systems are designed to scare the crap out of you. They are designed to impress you. And as a result, they cost a lot of money, and they really don't do anything, all right? So that's the entire American military. It costs a lot,
snap.
and it doesn't really do anything. And it's not resilient. It's not innovative. It's not open, all right? Also, the other thing I have to say this, okay, is if you look at the American military, it's corrupt. So this is really about corruption.
Corruption?
So the Americans don't really care about winning a war. What they care about is spending as much money as possible because then they get a cut. It doesn't make sense. Right? And that's why the Americans are in the situation as they are. All right, let's continue. All right. So something that people don't really talk about, but you need to understand, it's the water issue in the GCC, in the Middle East, in Iran.
Yeah.
All right. So this is a map of the world. And if you are light blue, Brazil, Canada, you have nothing to worry about because you have a lot of water, a lot of fresh water, very little population. All right? So 100% just means, 100% water stress just means that you drink as much water as the environment produces.
Okay.
Okay? So you want to be below 100%.
So you don't want to overconsume what the environment produces.
Sustainable. Ideally, you want to be at 10%, okay?
Okay.
If it goes above 100%, it means that you are drinking more water, using more water than the environment actually produces. Okay, so you're putting stress on the environment.
Right.
So 20% is really bad, right? Because you're using twice as much water as the environment produces. Guess what, guys? Look at the Middle East, okay? Egypt. 6,420%. Saudi Arabia, 883%. All right? Bahrain, almost 4,000%. Dubai, 17,000%.
Yo.
All right?
17,000?
These, so water's a huge.
Oh, this is 170 times. You know, the amount of water it's supposed to use. You know.
Huge issue. Again, it doesn't matter if Iran kills American soldiers, destroys American military. It doesn't have to do that. All it has to do is destroy the desalination plants, and then the GCC is destroyed, okay?
Yeah.
But it's also true that Iran has water issues. 72% is pretty bad, okay? So even though the Iranians could destroy the GCC much faster than the Americans could destroy Iran,
Yep.
Iran is still in trouble, okay? So let me give you an example of this.
Right.
This is like, sorry. So this is another map that shows you the issue of water scarcity, okay? And it's just basically the Middle East, okay?
Yeah.
The biggest issue in the future is water, okay? And that's where the geopolitical tensions will arise in the future over water. India is also affected as well, okay? All right. So let's look at the map, guys.
Crazy, bro.
This is called Lake Urmia in northern Iran. This is
Hold on, man. Before we get into Lake Urmia, bro. Word from the sponsors. That's crazy because I just spotted the spot where I'm from, man. It had one of them little highlights for with the water thing. Yeah, talk about like being dealt one of the weakest hands, man. Shit. Alright, quick word from the sponsors, man. We'll be right back, type shit.
Buzzing when she said she wanna die, and he see she ain't bluffing, so he held her to the skies. Cried sour momentum, passive with goodbyes. I'd rather you tell him, but now the truth is I've digressed from all the feelings, so it's forever though. Like my mama.